DreamCat English Learning. In this video, along with learning new words, you will learn about elderly care.
Olivia's caring job, stories from the elderly. My name is Olivia, and I am a geriatric nurse. That means I take care of elderly people, usually those who are over 65 years old. I have worked in this job for 5 years, and every day is different. Many of the elderly people I care for are kind and full of stories. They love to talk about their families, their lives, and sometimes about things they remember from when they were young. One woman, Mrs. White, always tells me about her adventures when she traveled around the world as a young woman. She has pictures of herself in India, Egypt, and even in Australia. It makes me smile to see how excited she gets when she talks about her trips. But being a geriatric nurse isn't always easy. Some of my patients are very sick, and it can be sad to see them in pain. I remember Mr. Johnson, who had Alzheimer's disease. Sometimes, he forgot who I was and thought I was his daughter. It was hard to see him confused, but I knew my job was to stay patient and kind, even when it was difficult. One thing I've learned from working with elderly people is that they need more than just medical care. They need someone to talk to and someone to listen. Many of them feel lonely because their families live far away or they don't have many friends left. When I sit and listen to them, I can see how much it means to them. It's a small thing, but it makes a big difference in their day. I love my job because I feel like I am making a difference in people's lives. When I go home at the end of the day, I feel tired but happy. I know that I have helped someone feel a little better, even if it was just by smiling, listening, or holding their hand. Working with the elderly has taught me to appreciate life more and to value every moment. Even though it can be hard, I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Important and difficult words.
Geriatric. Related to elderly people, usually over 65 years old. Example: Olivia is a geriatric nurse, so she works with older people in a hospital. Elderly. Older. Usually describing people over 65 years old. Example: the elderly man needed help walking up the stairs. Adventures. Exciting or unusual experiences, often involving travel. Example: Mrs. White tells stories about her adventures when she traveled to different countries. Alzheimer's disease. A disease that affects the brain, causing memory loss and confusion, mostly in elderly people. Example: Mr. Johnson has Alzheimer's disease, so he sometimes forgets who Olivia is. Patient. Able to stay calm and not get angry when waiting or when things are difficult. Example: even when Mr. Johnson was confused, Olivia stayed patient and helped him. Confused. Not understanding something clearly. Unsure of what is happening. Example: Mr. Johnson felt confused and didn't know where he was. Medical care. The help people get from doctors or nurses to stay healthy or to get better when they're sick. Example: elderly people often need special medical care from doctors and nurses. Lonely. Feeling sad because you are alone or don't have anyone to talk to. Example: many elderly people feel lonely because their families live far away. Appreciate. To be thankful for something, to understand how important or valuable something is. Example: working with elderly people has taught Olivia to appreciate life more. Value. To see something as important or precious. Example: Olivia values the moments she spends listening to the elderly people's stories.
Thank you for being with us in this video. Remember that with continuous practice, you will reach the desired level. Learn other words and terms by watching our other videos, and please support us by subscribing, liking, introducing to your friends.